All right, we have a table of data in our spreadsheet here. So in our example, it's this list of transactions, and we want to take a systematic sample of it, right? So that means that we're going to sample every n rows. So every 2 rows, every 3 rows. We're going to go over 2 different ways to do it, and we'll start with the first method. These all, this entire spreadsheet is available if you just make a copy of it. The link is in the description. You can follow along, and all the formulas will be in it. And what we're going to do is go over the setup formulas, if we will. So these formulas get us ready to make the sample, and then we'll go over to the right and see how the sample is actually written into the spreadsheet. Whoa, hey, all right. So there's 3 boxes here, 3 cells with a little refresh sign next to them, and that's just saying that these are calculations. The only cell that takes an input is the sample size, and that drives some of the calculations. So to make the systematic sampling work, you need to know the number of rows. So we're just going to do a simple count of the non-blank cells, which is what count A does there to arrive at the number of rows. So that is coming down here, counting these values, and arriving at 14. The next is an input field where you put your desired sample size. You can put anything you want in here, but we're just going to say that we're going to sample 4 items from this list. And then the sampling interval is calculated. We'll double click in here from the division of the rows by the sample size. All right, and then it rounds down to make sure that we get enough samples. So this would be 14 divided by 4, rounded down is 3. And then the last piece of information we need to know before we start is the starting row. And this is just a random selection between the first 3 rows. So that just uses the ran between function, and it's between 2 because we have a header. You need to start at row 2 and the sampling interval +1. Right, so now that we have, this is all the data that we need to start with the sampling. So we'll zoom out and look at the sample. Tighten this up a little bit. And we'll move over to the right. Okay, so this is the output of our sample. We'll talk about how we got here. The first thing that we have is I've added in a row counter so you can see how many samples you're getting. We asked for 4. In this case, it output 4, but sometimes it will output more than you want just because of the rounding down to make sure that you get enough. So the way I built this, I figure it's better to sample more rows instead of less. And if there are too many in here, you just can manually delete them. Right? And then the next thing that we did was the actual grabbing of the data from the table. And we'll double click in here. And what we did was we used the index function, and the index function just goes into the table and grabs data, pulls it out. So we grabbed all 4 columns. This calculates the rows, and then it shifts it down each time. All right, so since you have these inputs put into here, when you copy this row down, it's already copied down, but I'll just do it again. It will do a systematic sample of every 3 rows. And in this case, we see live in action. We said the sample size of 4, but it did 5 just because of where it started. So you would just delete this. All right, so that works. It's a little bit manual. And if you have to change this because your source data is shaped differently, it could get a little bit confusing, but it does work. The other option that we have is using the random sampler add-on. So this is an add-on that Sheets Help has made, and there's a 7-day free trial if you want to check it out, but I'll show you what it does. So we will come back over, and it lives in your sidebar once you install it. So I'll put a link to a video that shows you how to install it, but it's pretty easy. Just go to extensions, add-ons, and get add-ons. Search for random sampler, but it's here already. So we will click it. It wants to know where your data is. So we will select this table. We will click there to tell it where it is. Say it has a header, and then we will choose systematic sampling method. Now on here, we took a slightly different approach where it doesn't ask for sample size, it just asks for the interval. So we'll say sample every 3 rows. In this case, we don't want to exclude anything. You could pick a certain day to exclude, or maybe items under a certain dollar amount you didn't want to sample. But we will leave that off for now. And we will just, you can create a new worksheet with the data. You can add just a little column to the right of it that will show you which ones you selected. But we're just going to highlight them. So we'll select highlight in place, and click sample. Here we go. It highlighted every 3 rows. And if you want to learn more about that add-on, this next video will show you what it can do for you. I'll see you in that video. Thanks for watching.